I will tell you one thing, and a lot of people in this city don't know that. I moved here with my clothes.
Just with your clothes? From where?
Southeast Alabama.
Ah.
And
Why?
to prove a point that I can make it on my own. And I have been very successful because of the gay community.
Yeah.
Yep, they've been very good to me.
How old were you when you came to Atlanta?
How old was I?
Yeah.
28.
28. So 28 was basically a new start and
Yes.
a proof you can do it.
28 and went to work. I turned 50 when I went to work at the Oscars. I was 55 when we opened this place.
Wow.
And now I am 70 years old.
Looking good.
And retiring, thank you.
Really? Why did you come to Atlanta? I mean, why did you pick Atlanta? Why not another city?
When I lived in Alabama, I was going either to Florida, Atlanta, New Orleans. I spent every Thanksgiving in Orlando, Florida at the Parliament House.
That's where you saw me.
The whorehouse of the South.
And you went there.
I went there every Thanksgiving.
Oh, just Thanksgiving?
Pretty much. I stayed Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
When was the last time you were there?
Ooh.
Long time ago.
Long time ago, I used to go to Fort Lauderdale to the Marlin Beach
Yes,
Hotel.
me too.
You did?
And I was only like 17 years old.
And the poop deck, the disco, the pool, you could see into the dance floor area.
I don't remember that, but I remember
I have an 8-track from the DJ's music there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
What was
8-track. Do you know what an 8-track is?
Something with music.
Not gonna tell your age, are you?
I really don't know what an 8-track is.
The square box, not a cassette. Cassettes came after the 8-track.
I don't know what that is then.
Okay, and then you had CDs.
Yeah, I know what that is.
Okay.
I have never seen an 8-track. 8-track, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It was just a square black box with a tape in it, and you plugged it into your player. And
interesting.
When I moved here in '81, New Year's Eve of 1981, the Western Peachtree Plaza and the AT&T building now, which was Bell South, they were completing that behind the Fox Theater. That was the 2 tall high-rises in this city. I watched them all be erect, or erected, whatever you want to call it. They rose up out of the ground anyway.
Do you think, as an owner of a bar, would it be more difficult to date somebody?
Date someone?
Yeah.
Not really. And at one time, a lot of the gay bars in the city were owned by straight people.
Oh, really?
Blake's was owned by straight people at one time. Burkhart's was owned by straight people.
Did you ever march in the Pride parades?
Oh, well, certainly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was this bar, the Amsterdam Cafe, in the parade?
It was. The second year I think we were open. I walked the entire parade route.
Yeah.
Came all the way across Piedmont Park. I was about to die. It was so hot. It was in June.
Yes.
And I told them, I said, I have to run home, take a shower, get something to eat, and I'm coming back to work.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we know each other from, let's just say, a long time ago.
A long time ago.
When you worked at the Armory.
That's not right. 19 and a half years.
19 and a half years.
Yes.
So were you always just the bartender there?
Well, I bartended, I managed. I worked at the Prince George restaurant for 5 years, right next door by the...
Prince George?
Yes.
I don't know that.
It was a restaurant. You know where Local Luna's was?
Well, where was it?
Local Luna.
Okay.
But it was Prince George before it became Local Luna.
Oh.
And the owner that owned the Armory owned Prince George.
Okay.
And I started out working there as a waiter, then as a manager. Then I went to the Armory. And I left the Armory in 2000. And then I went to work at the Oscars in October of 2000. Worked there for 4 years. And in 2005, we started planning Amsterdam. and we opened in February the 17th of 2006.
How did you get a job at the Armory?
I was
And
working,
were you a bartender before?
no,
So how did you get a job as a bartender?
I was a manager at the Prince George, and he owned the Armory.
Oh, okay.
And he said, we need some help next door, and I will put you next door.
Why did the Armory close?
People wanted to go to some place new or whatever. The Armory had been there for 30-something years.
Yeah,
And then Backstreet bought it,
yeah.
and they redid it, and it wasn't the Armory anymore. And people just wouldn't go. If they had renamed it and not left it the Armory, it would have been a new bar in town. I tried to tell them that after the fact, and they said, well, is it too late? I said, yeah, you've already opened it back up as the Armory.
I heard this bar is going to close today.
It is closing today.
Why are you closing?
We're not renewing our lease.
Your lease is not being renewed?
We're not renewing our
Oh,
lease.
you're not renewed.
Right.
Why?
Well, because of the pandemic, business is about half of what it was last year,
Yeah.
and people are afraid to come out. And I'm afraid you're going to see lots more places close because people are afraid they have to social distance. There's too many restrictions going on, and I know that it's very necessary that you do the restrictions. Mm-hmm. And we've tried to follow the guidelines. Some bars have never even closed. The city closed us down for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
They closed all the bars, but some of them didn't close. But I'm not going to call any names.
No, we're just here, you and me.
You know, I mean, they chose to stay open. But I've always tried to be on an upper scale of running this place and owning it.
So you're not renewing the lease. Do you know what's going to happen to this place?
I have no idea.
Did they try to give you a better lease?
They offered us a 5-year lease, but the bar is too large to take on that kind of responsibility with what's going on with the pandemic. Because nobody knows what's going to happen this winter.
Oh.
Like I say, you're going to see lots of places close.
They didn't offer you like, hey, you don't have to pay us anything until the end of the year?
Oh, no.
No.
When the city shut us down, and what was it, the middle of March and May, April and May, they still want their rent. Even though we were not even open and making no money.
Did you ask them for like a reduction or something?
Oh yeah, we've asked, trust me. And the gym next door is going away. Their lease is up at the end of this month, September, and they're not renewing their lease. Their business is down way big time. And we all have to understand what's going on in the whole entire country with what the pandemic's done.
Why did you open Amsterdam?
Tired of working for someone else.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You saved up a lot of money being a bartender?
Yeah. Doug Kraft, you know at Blake's.
Who?
Doug, the bartender at Blake's.
I'm not good with names.
Well, anyway, most people know Doug Kraft at Blake's. Doug told me one time after we opened here, he said, Joel, you're the smartest bartender I've ever known.
Sure
He said
you
most
are.
bartenders spend every dime that they ever made.
Right.
And he said, you haven't. And yes. But yeah, I left the Armory in 2000. I took off 3 months. And then I went to work at the Oscars. And because I wasn't working, they wanted somebody to help them for their grand opening. And I had worked with the owner of the Oscars at the Armory. He opened his own bar. And he said, will you come to work for me? And I said, I'll work for you for 1 year and see what happens. So I worked for him for 4 years.
Wow.
And Earl was a general manager there, and I was a manager. And we just got to talking one day, and we both quit and started planning Amsterdam. And it took us over a year dealing with the city to get this place open.
Are you sad that
No,
you're closing
not
this
at
place?
all.
Really?
Not at all. A friend of mine asked me the other day, if you have any regrets, what are they? I said, I don't have any regrets.
Wow.
Yep.
No regrets.
Nope.
What do you think is different today about the gay scene than it was, let's say, 30 years ago?
the gay community is not mature. They're fickle. The internet come along, and people don't have to go to gay bars to socialize.
Yeah.
They meet someone online, they hook up. So, you know, the internet really affected the bar business big time.
Yeah. But now in Atlanta, I mean, it's like if you wanted to go dance, where can you go?
There's only two places. That's the Heretic and to the Eagle.
Yeah.
You know, we had a big dance floor, but people didn't seem to get it that it had a dance floor. I mean, there were times it would work, and then times, I don't care who the DJ was.
Why didn't you have like a, let's say, a drag show here?
We had drag shows here at one time. I've got a sign in the office that says the Amsterdams, Bubba Delicious, Alexander Martin, Gigi Monroe. We did a drag show every Sunday.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. But again, it's very hard to try to do all of it.
What is the hardest part about owning a bar?
Dealing with people.
For real?
Uh-huh.
What are their problems?
Oh my God, Stefan.
Give me the top 3 problems.
3 problems. They act like they own the place. A lot of them. They think they know everything. And to be honest with you, some of them think they're better than anybody else.
Really?
Oh yeah. A lot of people look down on a bartender. I had a guy to tell me one time, he said, I don't date bartenders. He said, they're nothing but whores.
Wow.
And I said, that's not true.
Right.
I said, who's going to wait for a bartender to get off at 4 o'clock in the morning to go home with them?
I would.
I had a trucker one time to wait for me to get off at the Armory.
Nice.
And I went and spent the night in the cab of an 18-wheeler at a truck stop.
Ooh, yes. That sounds like a porn movie to me.
It was a porn movie. Actually, he had made porn movies.
Oh, he did?
He had. And I saw one later, and I'm not sure it wasn't me in the porn movie. But, you know, it's all good.
Mm.
Yeah, and I mean, I love my customers. The relationship I have with my customers, it's just like family. Yeah.
Do you yourself go to a gay bar?
Did I myself?
Yeah.
Oh, I've partied in lots of gay bars, from San Francisco to New York to, lots of gay bars.
I would
Pensacola, Florida, New Orleans. Yeah.
But if you were, working here or working at the Armory, you must have gotten phone numbers from people.
Phone numbers?
Yeah, or whatever, invitations to go home.
I did, but I didn't always take them.
Why?
I was offered drugs.
Yeah, did you take them?
And I told them to give me the money because I would buy what I wanted to buy with.
Did the bartenders at the Armory sell drugs?
Did they?
Oh yeah. If I would come up to you and say, hey man, do you know where I can buy drugs? Would you tell me?
Most likely.
Because you're from Iowa.
I knew you weren't a cop.
Right.
And some of them would buy drugs too.
Do you think a lot of people did drugs back in the day, 30 years ago at the Armory?
Most likely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There was GHB and cocaine and.
Do you think people still do drugs like they did back in the day?
Oh yeah.
Really?
They do crystal meth now.
Well, but they don't have to constantly go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but I never did crystal meth. I did coke.
Yeah.
I drink, been as drunk as anybody else. But I haven't really drank in quite a few years.
Why?
I don't really like the taste of it. I like the effect it gives you, but I don't like the after effect.
Yeah.
So I choose not to drink it.
So
I like to smoke cigarettes. Don't smoke marijuana. It makes me very lethargic. I just want to go to sleep.
Uh-oh.
So, I did Special K. And I like Special K.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You didn't like it?
No, because it makes you feel drunk and you have no control over your body anymore.
Well, I wasn't drinking when I was doing it.
But still, it puts you like in this K-hole.
Well, the first time I knew of that, I was working at the Oscars.
Yeah.
And this customer came in and he said, Joel, give me some sugar, give me some orange juice. so-and-so's out in the car and they're in a K-hole. I was like, what the hell's a K-hole? I didn't know what it was then, you know.
Right.
I knew what we dealt with GHB at the Armory.
Yeah.
Because there was a guy one night and he said, oh man, I'm diabetic coma. I said, the hell you are. I said, you're not in a diabetic coma. That guy thanked me later because I stood there with him with a wet towel. They made him drink water after glass of water. And he thanked me later. He said, Joel, you saved my life. He said, I owe you big time. He said, I don't have anything I can give you but this watch I have on. I said, I don't need your watch. I don't want your watch, you know? I said, what do you think I'm going to do? Let you sit there and die?
Yeah.
No. And I saw him do it, Stefan. I saw the ambulance come in and put him on the stretcher and throw that oxygen tank up between their crotch. And I'm like, don't bust their balls just because they're fucked up. And y'all are a bunch of damn rednecks, you know. Don't give a shit about anybody except that you're picking them up. Of course, they took one guy to the hospital at Grady. He got out and came back to the bar.
Yeah.
People would look at me all the time and say, how can you just get off work and go home? I said, I have priorities. Mm-hmm. The next day, they would look at me and they said, do you have $1 I can borrow? And I said, didn't you work last night and make money? Well, yeah, but I spent it all. Mm-hmm. And I said, you're a fool.
Right.
Joel was taking his money home with him. I had priorities. And that was to prove a point to myself, and I did it, you know? Same thing I did with cocaine. I did coke with this guy for 1 year.
For a year?
Huh?
For a year?
For a year.
What, every day?
Every week. I spent $200 a week. Cost me $10,000.
Why?
Because I was, what?
Why did you do...
Because he liked cocaine.
And you liked him?
Yes, and we were hanging out.
Okay, so you did pay for sex.
I was 50. I guess I did. Well, and I'm going to tell you about this right here. This dick dancer was probably 24. Oh. And I told him, I said, you better learn a different trade. I said, you're making great money right now. Yeah. He left my house one night. I had to give him money to buy gas with. Mm-hmm. He went to Greensboro, North Carolina. He came back home the next day, laid it out on the bed. $100 bills.
Yeah.
I said, I'm telling you,
save it.
Your looks and your body is going to change as you age, okay?
Right.
I said, you best be saving that money now.
Have you ever been in love?
Oh, yeah. Lots of times.
Lots of times? What was your longest relationship?
8 years.
Yeah, in Atlanta, of course.
Yeah, actually 2 years. I had 2 8-year relationships. Mm. One was in Florida and one was here.
So you're going to retire at 70. Are you going to move to Florida now?
Most likely.
For real?
Yeah.
Where in Florida?
Probably to Laguna Beach, which is right outside of Panama City.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Looking back
I lived there when I was 21.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know the difference in love and lust?
Yes.
What is that?
Love is when your heart, well, it's with your heart. It's like, you know, you think about your lover non-stop.
Love is when you swallow, and lust is when you spit it out.
I have to think about that. You are bad, but actually you're so right.
That's the truth. You know?
Well,
I say I was monogamous for 8 years. I didn't go with anybody else.
Really?
No.
And you were
didn't want anyone, Stefan.
Did you do 3-ways?
One time, and I didn't like it. Mm-hmm. I met the guy in a bar in Florida.
Yeah.
And on the way back to the hotel, he says, my lover's in the room. And I said, what? He said, yeah. He said, he knows I'm coming with someone. But I felt that person got left out because I was not interested in the lover that was back in the room. Mm. So it just was kind of a turn off for me. But when I'm with someone, if I have to have someone else, then I don't need that person that I'm with.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the way I always looked at it. I mean, why do you got to have somebody else? If you have to have someone else, you're not happy with the person you're with.
Well, if you're in love, if you're really in love,
That's what I'm saying. If you're in love,
you don't need anybody else.
no, you don't. You don't want anyone else.
And besides that, it's dangerous because
But now if you're just, lusting after somebody and they don't mean anything to you, who gives a damn how many you go out with or screw?
But I mean, after like, let's say 5 years and you're eating fish every day, don't you want to have some steak sometime?
Not when you're a vegetarian.
Good one. By the way, I am vegetarian now.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
So you must have had a broken heart in your life before, huh?
Oh, yeah. I've had broken hearts. I've cried,
Are you going to be sad tonight?
Am I going to be sad tonight? No, sir.
No?
No. Because I know what we're doing and why we're doing it. Earl did want to keep the bar, but the landlord would not divide the space, and we are too large of a space for what's going on right now, because we had to cancel 4 events a month because we couldn't social distance.
Yeah.
I know too many people that are going out of business right now.
Right.
I've had other people that say, well, are you going to sell what you got? And I said, well, if anybody wants to buy it. And they said, well, most people are trying to sell what they've got right now.
Right.
So, I mean, I have a house in Midtown
Oh, good choice. How long have you had the house?
since 1983.
So you're a millionaire.
Don't tell anybody that. They might want me.
You know, houses in 1986, literally in Midtown here, they were like $40,000. Same house now is $1 million.
You're not supposed to know all that.
I did. I invested.
Are you invested?
Yes.
Do you have a house?
No, I have a condo.
See, and when I moved to Atlanta, as I told you, I wanted to prove a point to myself.
Yeah.
I wanted to meet someone,
Yeah.
have a relationship.
Yeah.
I did that. I wanted the materialistic things in life.
Yeah.
I got those because I moved here with my clothes, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
I got that. When we opened this bar, a liquor distributor said, Joel, the worst thing that can happen is you've done it. You walk out the door and lock it behind you and walk away. And I've done that as well. So I would like to start a new era in my life and
Just relax?
Huh?
Just relax?
Just relax, maybe write a book.
Yeah.
I couldn't put your name in there, though. I have to give you a fake name, I guess.
No, just use Stefan Shagwell.
But,
It's not the
and
first time.
Stefan, there's people like you that I've known for a long time, and you've known me a long time.
Yeah.
And yes, a lot of people are saying, I didn't know that guy's name earlier, but I know his face. I know
Right.
lots of people by face. I used to know people's drinks.
Yes.
And people would say, why don't you know my name? I said, I've always never asked you your name.
Right.
Then I started putting names with faces, drinks. And I learned a lot of people's names, and do you remember Big Ruby? We just went off the air.
I want what? The
Yeah.
light?
It's not lit up.
Oh, it's fine. We still have light.
Do you remember Big Ruby?
The drag queen?
Ruby Red. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the drag queen, yeah.
No. Big Ruby. She
No.
was an armorette.
Yeah, there's a drag queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she performed as the Armory at
Right.
One day I was with my lover, and he saw, and he said, who is that? I said, oh, that's Rum and Coke. I didn't even know her name.
Rum and Coke was her name?
Well, no, Rum and Coke was what she drank.
Oh,
but then
okay.
He said, well, don't you know her name? And I said, well, they call her Big Ruby. Same way with Gin and Tonic. I didn't know his name.
Okay.
Somebody called one day and said, I need to speak to Michael. And he worked at the Armory.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I don't know Michael. They said, you worked with him. As soon as they said Gin and Tonic, I knew who it was.
Mm-hmm.
People back then didn't call people by their real names.
Well, who can remember? I can't remember names, period.
No?
No. But I can remember, see, you don't remember, or I don't remember words, but I remember actions and how they made me feel. Like in your case, you were my bartender, and you always gave me free shooters.
Right.
And I will always remember that, always. I don't remember nothing else but that.
Okay. And you know, there's people that you look at and there's something that you remember about them and that makes you remember them. Whether it's eyes, ears, nose, their personality.
Yeah. By the way, why did you give me free shooters?
I don't know. I probably gave lots of people free shooters.
Well, really?
I don't know.
You know how to make me special.
special.
Yeah, I thought I was special. Especially, I mean, those damn Jägermeisters. You know, my last Jägermeisters I had at the Parliament House. I drank 6, and I was so sick, and since then I never drank alcohol again.
You don't drink alcohol at all?
No. I mean, you know.
I've never had a Jägermeister.
Really?
No.
You gotta try that German drink.
No. I know it's a German thing, but you tell me.
Yeah, that's my grandmother. She used to drink that after a meal.
Right.
You know, it's good for the digestive
system.
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard that.
And it gets you, I mean, I don't know, it's the next best thing to drugs, I think.
Well, maybe so, but I tell people, your mom used to get you to take Creamulsion, cough syrup, and you wouldn't do it, and now you're drinking Jägermeister?
I know. Ugh. Do you drink alcohol now?
No, sir.
How long have you?
I'll have a beer every now and then with somebody to be sociable.
Right.
But I could care less about it.
Right.
I never really liked the taste of it.
Me either.
Like I say, I like the effect that it gave you.
Yeah. Be slutty.
Hangovers? Oh, hell no. So I just choose not to have a hangover. And
it's true.
if I drink, I'm going to drink a beer or 2.
Yeah.
I don't drink it to get high or get a buzz on like a lot of people.
Yes.
A lot of people think they have to drink daily.
Yeah. Do you have customers here that literally come every day and maybe get wasted or so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the Armory, I mean, I saw the same people 4 and 5 times a week.
Well, but that's what we did back in the day.
Well, I know, and drinks were 75 cents.
I mean, that's how you meet a man. I mean, how else would you meet a man if you didn't go to a bar? Or to the parking lot or something?
That's right. Or you hope to get a phone number or ask out to dinner. And that doesn't happen anymore.
No.
Very rarely do you see somebody say, oh, let me buy them a drink.
Instant gratification.
Yeah.
And you got to know everything, including the pictures, to prove it.
True.
You know, back then, in the day, there was a courtship you had to do.
Right.
Look at him, smiling.
That's right.
You know, blinking with the eyes.
I tell them here one moment and gone the next.
I know.
It's kind of like life, isn't it?
Yes. Did you ever have sex at the Armory?
No.
No?
No.
Have you ever had sex with a drag queen?
No.
Have you had sex with any of the employees of the Armory?
No.
Wow. Have you had sex, period?
No. You don't eat where you shit.
Oh,
or
really?
what is it? You don't shit where you eat. That's what it is. I don't think a bartender should go with their customers because they get mad with you or you get mad with them and you lose a customer.
I would get jealous.
Well, see, and I mean, you know, one way or the other, you're going to lose a customer. And I try to tell bartenders that over the years. Excuse me. I have gone with people that I may have met at work or whatever, but they were from out of town.
I was about to say, you could go with somebody from out of town.
Oh yeah. They didn't live here.
Right.
I chose not to do that.
So when a customer comes up to you, you first say, "Are you from out of town?"
No, I knew the majority of my customers. And if a stranger walked up, and when I waited tables at the Prince George, there was one man that would come once a year. And when he walked in, I'd walk over to him and I'd say,
"Coffee, tea, or me?"
No, I would say a Manhattan and London Royal Medium and Thousand Island in your salad. He said, "I hadn't been here in a year. How do you remember that?" I said, "Well, that's just the way I am."
I remember the ones that I want to remember.
I remember the tips. You left a good tip, so I remember you. Yeah. I used to get money every Friday night from this man.
Really?
Oh, yes.
But I mean, that didn't mean that you were a whore. That was just taking advantage of the situation.
It was just that look here. I met him, and he opens up his wallet, and he flashes $100 bills.
Well, yeah.
And he said, if you ever need any money, call me. I didn't call him, he called me.
Yeah.
And I met him every Friday night for quite a while.
But you know, at that age, $100, that was a lot of money.
Yeah, and look here, I was wined, I was dined.
Yes.
He told me, he said, somebody will live with me one day and they won't ever have to work.
Yeah.
But there was somebody I wanted to see more.
Yeah.
And I went to see them. And I told him my grandmother was sick. And he
Was it a lie?
Yes. His grandmother, he called my house and my mother said, oh, he's going to the beach. Are you recording this?
Yes, of course. This is good, juicy stuff.
No.
Yes.
But anyway, he called me on that Monday and he said, the next time your grandmother's sick, tell your mother about it. And I didn't see him anymore after that.
Uh-oh. Do you find it insulting if a customer doesn't tip?
Well, it depends. A lot of people don't realize what a tip is. Tip is to ensure prompt service.
Yeah.
And if you get good service, yes, you should tip that bartender. And I do know that the Europeans don't feel that it's appropriate to tip because...
Well, we get a bartender gets a salary. He doesn't work for tips.
Well, that's right, but in the States, they don't get a salary. They live off of their tips.
Right.
They might make $2.15 an hour.
Right. Is that still the case?
Yes.
So the bartenders here, they make $2.15.
Yeah, some of them make a shift pay. It might be $25, $30, $35, whatever. But they make their living off of tips. And at one time, many years back, bartenders, servers were the next thing to the mafia as far as beating the government out of money, because you didn't pay your taxes on it. I was told back when I was in, say my early 30s.
Yeah.
The owner of the Armory told me the same thing. He said, there's one thing, you have to make sure that you pay your taxes. A lot of people don't pay their unemployment taxes.
Oh.
They don't pay their employment taxes and don't think the government will come in and close you down, you know? Mm-hmm. There was a restaurant here in town and they weren't paying their taxes either, and they put a padlock on their door, the IRS did. Yeah. So yeah, you know, in this country you have to pay your taxes. Yeah. But again, I mean, I've had $100 tips. I've had no tips. But if you don't tip a bartender in this country, they're not going to care whether they wait on you or not.
Oh, you will remember if I didn't tip you?
Oh yeah.
Thank God I tipped you.
The majority of bartenders will know.
Really?
Oh, well, that customer didn't tip me. What the fuck's wrong with that? He'll get a weaker drink. He won't get the same drink everyone else gets.
You did give strong drinks. I remember that. now that you're saying
you
that,
must have been tipping me good then, Stefan.
I don't remember. Give me good life advice.
I would tell you, people say a lot of times that life is a bitch.
Yes.
There are things in life that we have no control over.
Yeah.
But life is what will make it. And I think if you should set a goal in life. Many years ago, I was asked, what is your goal? And I said, I don't have one. Same way as this bar here. I had an obligation. And once my lease is up, I don't have an obligation anymore. Not at my age. Everybody has a purpose.
Right.
And I do believe that when that purpose is fulfilled, it's time to go.
What was your purpose?
What was my purpose?
Yes.
I hope my purpose was I'm a very people person. I like to make people happy. I like to please people, whether I please myself or not. I think I have done that. People tell me now, Joel, go and enjoy your life. You deserve it. You've done it, you know?
Yeah.
Been in the business 40 years.
But you also enjoyed it, didn't you?
A lot of times, and a lot of times, no.
Really?
It can be very stressful. A lot of people think tending bar is easy. It can be a lot of work. It's hard at times.
Oh, really? When did you know? When did you know that you
Like men,
like men?
probably 13, 14.
Really?
Yeah. Have I ever been with a woman? No.
Really?
No. Have you?
Yeah, one time.
One time?
And I got paid.
You what?
I got paid. Well, I did.
She had to pay you to have sex?
No, she didn't, but the husband did.
Okay.
And he wanted to watch.
Oh, okay. My mom asked me when I was 13, she
Yeah.
said, are you queer?
Queer?
Queer.
Is that a bad word?
Well, I guess back then, because a lot of people said the word queer instead of gay,
Yeah.
just like the word faggot.
Yeah.
I said, Mother, what do you mean? You know?
She asked you when you were 13
Uh-huh.
about?
But see, when I was born, my mom wanted me to be a girl. Everybody has a gay tendency. My father used to have like a limp wrist. And I'm like, but my father also told me, he said, no man's ever touched me. I said, you don't know what you have missed.
You said that to your
I
father?
did say that to my father.
Oh my God. So your father knows you're gay?
Yeah, but he died in 1981. He got killed in a car accident. But we didn't really discuss it. None of my family discussed it with me. I think my mom knew, but we didn't discuss it.
But she asked you?
Well, she did when I was 13, but I denied it. And I guess I always looked up to older people. Yeah,
Me too.
As a mentor.
I always looked up to older people, and I surrounded myself with older people because they've been there, they've done it.
Exactly, and if they, if they can't give you any advice, nobody can.
Exactly, yeah. So it's
Oh
like,
yes, I would love a cigarette.
yes, get a cigarette. Thank God I don't smoke.
Yeah.
After sex, maybe a little bit.
You what?
Just kidding.
When you're having sex,
After sex.
that's when it's the best.
I don't smoke.
Thank you.
I don't smoke, period.
You met my nephew, right?
Well, a moment ago, I didn't know he was your nephew.
Oh yeah,
He seemed very straight.
he is. His wife is at home.
Oh, good.
Yeah. He's been to gay bars. He knows.
Yeah.
He came up here because I'm closing, and he wanted to be here. He said, I watched you work in that bar, and my brother came when we were doing construction, and the dust was so thick at this door you couldn't even see the back door because we sandblasted all these walls in here, and this was a warehouse.
Yeah.
The Blooming Cookie.
This whole mall was built like when? In the 90s?
In the 20s, and this was West Lumber Company warehouse for lumber storage. Because the railroad track was right back here on the belt line, and the train tracks backed up to these loading docks out back. And they dropped the lumber off. And this was warehouse. This is a new section. This was added on.
Yeah.
And the school down there was added on.
What kind of school?
It's a private school. I think it's from maybe kindergarten or
Oh, really?
to, I don't know what grade, but it's a private school. She has another one out on Sheridan Road that started here, and then she moved that one up there. Local Limits used to be the Red Chair, and it was open when we opened this, but it didn't stay open long after we opened. I will tell you when the pandemic first started, and we closed here on March the 17th, which was a Tuesday, St. Patrick's Day. We left here about 8:30 that night. I went to Kroger to pick up something. I thought, my God, what's going on? The shelves were empty.
Yeah.
Empty, and I'm like, I've never seen them with this, like when it's going to snow, you know? No milk, no bread, no bottled water. I panicked. And as I told people, I've never been having anxiety.
Right.
But when I would go in the store, and you'd have to have a mask on,
Yeah.
I would have these anxiety attacks.
So are you afraid of death?
No, I'm not. I don't think when I say that because, again, as I told you, I know that we're all going to die.
Yeah.
Now, if they said, Joel, you got a week to live, I might panic. But like I say, I've lost my parents. I didn't watch anyone die except my last brother. Mm-hmm. And that was February the 23rd of 2016. He had just turned 68 in February.
Wow.
So, how y'all doing? So I watched him take his last breath. But, again, it's just something we're all going to do. And I know people have the fear of dying. Mm-hmm. And like I say again, I don't know until that moment comes.
So now the bar is closing. You had a lot of customers. A lot of customers liked you a lot. They liked this bar.
Yeah.
So, what would you like to tell them?
I would like to tell them that I appreciate each and every one of them.
Yes.
And I want to thank them for the support that they've given us for the years that we've been here. And those that I do have their phone numbers, I will stay in touch with them. There's one right now that I text every morning, and he said, Joel, you put a smile on my face every morning when you text me.
Is that a potential husband?
No, he's married.
Oh.
And believe it or not, he's married to a female.
Okay.
But he has a boyfriend.
What?
He has a boyfriend.
Uh-oh.
They've been together 15 years.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. I'm not after either one of them for sex. I appreciate them because they've been very loyal. Mm-hmm. They would come, and they were here Thursday, they were here Friday. They couldn't come yesterday or today because of family obligations, I guess.
Yes.
But I would. I mean, as I said again, Stefan, Atlanta's been very good to me. The gay community, you know, and the majority of people. A lot of bar owners. Hey, Marky. A lot of bar owners know who I am. They've respected me. I respect them. I don't have an issue with any bar owner in this city as far as I'm concerned. They may have issues with me, but, you know.
Well, you will be missed. I will miss you.
I'm not going anywhere.
I know, but it's just like...
Well, and Sugarbaker said, Joel, we will still have to do the Armory reunion. I'm sorry.
But you're moving to Florida.
He said, you'll have to come back. He said, I don't care. Well, I don't know. I don't know when I'm moving to Florida yet. It's not right away.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'm going to sell my place, whether I will just rent it out and get something else.
So this is not a goodbye. This is just a...
No, this is not. I tell people, you don't tell people goodbye. You just say bye.
Yeah.
When you say goodbye, I think it means that you won't see them again.
Yeah.
That's what I told someone earlier. He said, Joel, goodbye. And I said, oh no. I said, I'm not going anywhere. Are you?
Important thing. I was going to start crying, but that moment has passed.
I don't want you to cry.
Why? It's good to cry sometimes.
Let me ask you something, okay? And my uncle was a minister. And he said, when someone dies,
yes,
you should rejoice. When someone's born, you should cry. So if you think the bar is dying and be gone, we should be rejoicing.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be crying. The only time I cry or get emotional is when I have people like I got earlier.
Yeah.
Like some people earlier. I had another guy last night. He said, Joel, he said, I've come here for the time from the first day you were open. Mm-hmm. And he was here last night. And I don't know if he's here yet tonight or not. But he said, I just want you to know. He said, if there's anything I can ever do for you,
yeah.
He said, you let me know. And Stefan, that means a lot to me when you have a customer that you've known for 15 years that's going to tell you that.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that could give a shit what happens to someone, you know? And I do get upset when they start telling me all that stuff because I'm like, that's a good person there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had people to come in here today that left out. Maybe they don't know we're closed.
Right.
And we don't know what's going to happen, Stefan.
Yes.
We let that plane go in there. I would like to be on a plane, but I'm not getting in a plane either.
Well, it's all right.
No, I don't.
But I believe, things happen for a reason.
Oh yeah.
Nothing is by chance.
Oh no, everything happens for a reason.
Right. I walk in there. Yeah, I heard that.
That's a bird.
It's a bird?
Uh-huh.
You know who that is? Somebody from the past. For real?
And then a bird. When I'm sitting in my house,
Yeah.
if I see a cardinal or if I see a dove,
Yeah.
I say, "Hey brother, how you doing?"
Really?
Yeah. Because I
Is
have
the
his
bird
back.
still there?
Yeah, but come here.
No, leave it. I want to film or try to record it. I want to see it.
Come here.
Where is the bird?
Come here. Run away.
Take a picture.
You missed it.
I can't see him.
It's already gone.
He will come back.
It went out there somewhere. Oh.
Wow.
I have my brother's ashes sitting
That
in
was a
my
moment though with the bird.
Huh?
That was a moment with that bird.
Yeah.
Why would he come to us?
I don't know.
Wow.
It's all good.
It's very
go,
good.
to you.
I mean, that is not possible. That the bird just came over? That is... First the light comes on,
Right.
and then the bird comes. Just those events, and I'm telling you the story, just the events in that order. Special, right?
It's all good.
It's all good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank
You
you,
have a good,
Stefan.
you
Yes,
know,
sir.
it was. I would give you a hug, but
I know.
but we are not allowed to do that.
Well, I know.